Hey, Coach, just curious your overall thoughts. What were the biggest differences between Tuesday night and tonight?
Well, I thought, one, that we did a much better job of taking care of basketball. Obviously, they did a terrific job again on KD. But I thought there were times that we certainly, we may have lost our composure, but we were able to really get it back and just hang in there and take the punch. We were able to play without Yor and Isaiah and those guys, Ethan, without being in foul trouble. So that really allowed us to be a little bit more aggressive. And obviously foul trouble dictates, your substitutions. And then, of course, I thought we did a solid job on the board. So, overall, really good team effort, way to figure it out because they came back and we held our composure. It was tough. They were running at KD and taking the ball out of his hands. And, there were a couple of times we were hesitant there, but we were able to make some plays down the stretch, of course. And Yor and Emmanuel made some big free throws down the stretch.
Next question to Sam Blum.
Yeah, I know you talked about the pressure that Memphis had there, but how much did that kind of get you guys out of it? And do you feel like you ever actually got back on track or just kind of escaped that game?
Well, I don't know if you want to necessarily say it was escape, but, I think what you saw from them is they changed their defense quite a few times during the course of that game. And then, of course, late there in the second half, they decided to run at KD and get the ball in his hands. And so it's a constant adjustment for your team. I mean, it's ebbs and flows in every game, but, I certainly wouldn't say we escaped because I thought we were able to keep our composure for the most part, and we were able to make some little plays down the stretch. And like I said earlier, knock down free throws. And then, of course, we get a big deflection there on that last second play from Yor. We get a big rebound by Tyson Jolly. Also, tough call that we got there on the jump ball. But, we had multiple guys make, do the little things, I should say, down the stretch. And one of the things I always talk to the guys about and talk to them before the game, little things turn into big things.
Next question to Damon Sales.
Hey, Damon.
Hey, what's up, Coop?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. So I'm looking at KD's performance Tuesday, and I'm looking at KD's performance tonight, and it wasn't necessarily. I mean, obviously, it's not his best game, but what's Memphis doing? What were they doing to kind of throw him off of his game, or was it one of these days where he's just kind of having a bad week, an off week?
Well, I don't necessarily think it's an off week. I think, certainly for him, the first game, they run and jump. Obviously Lomax does a very good job of guarding the basketball, and then they make him play in traffic. And that's one of the things. And that traffic that they're putting on him has size, whether it's their guards or whether it's their bigs coming over. And really, it's a sign of respect from Penny and his group, and that, you can take a look at the game. They're not going to let KD beat them. That's what they're saying. And, they want to see if we have other guys that can step up and do that. One of the things I like, about KD's performance is that in that position, you have to drive winning. And whether or not you're making shots or whatever it may be, you've got to do little things to keep your team going in the right direction, particularly when you're the point guard. He was 8 assists, 3 turnovers. I think he had a couple of those turnovers late, so he would have been even better. But even getting the big charge call right there down the stretch, those are things from that position that you need your point guard to do and have his print on the game in multiple ways.
Next question to Steve Lansdale.
Yeah, Coach, the other night in Memphis, Musa Cisse was kind of a handful, and tonight you got 3 fouls on him in the first half. Was that just the way the game unfolded, or was there a conscious effort by you and Coach King putting together the game plan to go at him to try to specifically get him into foul trouble and get him off the floor?
Well, part of it was certainly the way the game unfolded. I mean, he's a handful from the standpoint of his size and his length and his ability to protect the rim. But, I thought the other night there were a couple times we went in there, we're playing off one foot, we're floating, and, he's too much to deal with. I thought we did a better job of getting the ball inside, pump fake, get him up a little bit, and then play from there. So, when you're playing against a shot blocker, you got to do multiple things. And then, I thought we did that, and we were able to make some plays from that. And of course, when he got in foul trouble, it certainly opens up the lane a little bit. It's similar to I mean, on our side, when he's not in there, it opens up the lane a little bit. He and Isaiah play defense a different way. Both of them do a really good job, but that's why it's so important, as I mentioned earlier, about the fact that those guys weren't in foul trouble. So we were able to really, really, use our substitutions and be able to go with that.
Next question, Sam Blum.
Hey, John, I know you weren't here last year, but, Emmanuel really he struggled to shoot the ball a lot. And now I think some of the, those advanced metrics have him as one of the best offensive players in the conference. What have you kind of seen? I'm not sure if you coach him, a lot, or if that's kind of where you work with some of the guards, but what have you kind of seen in terms of his development this year?
Well, it's funny. You think about it. I guess, what was Emmanuel, 1 for 7 from 3 tonight? I don't know if that was right. I thought he hit a couple more. It's just funny how the game goes. But I think the number one thing is that, he's shooting and he's playing with confidence. It's funny. I talk to him all the time. He says he's going to show me. And, and I tease him. I said, well, now I'm from Missouri. I'm from the show me state. So, okay, now, show me. And, he came out late in the game, timeout, and I told him, you're showing me. I just think he's playing with some confidence. He's not hesitating. And his teammates have confidence in him, along with the coaching staff. And I think anytime you're in that kind of space, you play the game instead of being worried about the game. You're enthralled in the game, and good things happen to you when you're playing it for the right reasons and the right way.
Next question, back to Damon Sales.
Yeah, Coop, one category that we haven't talked about is free throws. There's been a couple games where the team hasn't shot the ball well from the line, but tonight, 12 of 13, and every bucket helped. Just talk about free throws for you guys.
Well, you're right. We needed them. I mean, heck, we doubled up. Our free throw attempts this game, the first game we had 6 attempts, so it's hard to win that way. I think they had 25, but, like you said, each one of them was important. But, for various points in the game, certainly there were no bigger forward than Emmanuel's and yours down the stretch. They both go up and knock in 4. Knocking 2 each, so that really helped. And, so Ferran knocked in his free throws. But, anytime you're in a close game, like this was, it's all the little things. And so, to be able to do that, really to be able to just gather ourselves again was really important.
Next question, back to Sam Blum.
Yeah, just curious how, if you checked up on Tim, how's he doing, and do you expect him back on Sunday if you have any idea?
Obviously not really sure, but that's in the protocol of our doctors. I'm like everyone else. The whole process sort of confuses me a little bit as far as the days and everything else. But we're certainly concerned about him, and hopefully he's feeling good and he's feeling better and well. And there's no rush. I know it sounds funny, but basketball is not that important. The most important thing is your health and family and those things. So, we're here. We're going to do the things he wants us to do. And obviously we're checking in with him daily and everything else. I think he's been terrific in trusting us. Sean Stout did a terrific job with the scout, Memphis, and knowing what was going on and being prepared. Coach King has done a terrific job and just showing the team, having the composure and the confidence in the team. And so John Ike, he did a terrific job. So it's been a group effort. But, we are actually going to find out when you guys find out when he'll be back ourselves.
Next question, Damon Sales.
Yeah, real quick, a win like this, obviously, it's good for confidence, particularly from a resiliency perspective. Just want to ask you, obviously you're gonna enjoy the night, but you guys got to get ready for another big game. How does a win like this? What does a win like this do for your confidence going into the next game?
Well, I think certainly for our players, this is a good thing. This is a hard-fought win. We got out early, we had a lead, and they came back and they took the lead, and we were able to find a way to win. And that's what you talk about, just survival and get a win. So I think that bodes well for our group from a coaching standpoint. I know you said obviously we're going to enjoy this one tonight. Man, it's hard to enjoy this one. It's like, okay, here we go. We got 2 days to prepare and get ready for obviously a very good Houston team on the road. We got another one at Tulsa next week. We've had quite a few tough road games here that are coming up back to back. So, but I think it puts our team in a good place. And so hopefully we can come together as a group and figure out a way to go down to Houston and try to get a road win.
And the first question is to Steve Lansdale.
Perfect.
Yeah, Emmanuel, I asked your coach. I'll ask you the same thing. What did you see as the biggest differences between Tuesday night and tonight?
Played harder and more consistency. I think we, at some point, we have ups and downs, but we trying to keep it stable, just a little line, not too high, not too low. So we just trying to keep a composure, and I think that's what we did. And as soon as they were doing the run, we're right there to cut it, and then just exploit what we got. So I think we did a great job of being consistent and played out as a team today.
Next question, Sam Blum.
Yeah, Emmanuel, I'm just curious. Obviously that was kind of got a little dicey there at the end. How'd you guys kind of pull that out? Because it's, it seemed like kind of just a crazy finish.
Yeah, you don't want games to be that close, but at the same time, we got to be ready for it. And then it's about preparation, and we prepare to about every situation that we in the game. So we're prepared to getting pressed like that, and making sure that we don't foul at the end of the quarter like we just did at the end of the half. And it's about just being disciplined and being as a team, like I said, as a unit, and trusting each other, and that's what we did.
Next question, Steve Lansdale.
Memphis is obviously an athletic team that can go on runs. They had a big run on you Tuesday night. When it got close at the end tonight, did you sense any anxiety or tightness within your guys on the bench or on the floor?
No, not anxiety. Like I said, we trying to be stable, disciplined. So I think we trust each other. We know that we're gonna have some lows, and not everything gonna be is going to go all right. So we need to just keep our composure, and that's what we did. We knew that we were about to press us because that's what you do best, creating turnovers, and we knew about it. So things gonna happen. We're just gonna bounce back quick, and that's what we did.
Next question, back to Sam Blum.
Yeah, I'm curious in that last play with where I think Tyson fouled Boogie Ellis. Were you guys just trying to play defense throughout that possession, or was there an instruction to foul at a certain point, or what was kind of the strategy there?
I mean, we were trying to defend, really playing straight up and switching everything. But at the same time, we knew the clock, so we were about to foul on the ground, the foul on the floor. But he ended up shooting it. I think Tyson didn't. He didn't really foul him, if I really think about it. When I see it, I mean, it was just part of the game. The ref controls the game, so I mean, it was just one of them calls, but whatever.
Back to Steve Lansdale.
In the first game Tuesday, you guys forced 8 turnovers by Memphis. Tonight you had over double that. You had 17. What changed on the defensive end for you tonight?
Just trying to be locked in the whole game because we know we got a great defensive team. So, but at times it's just, we got to be, like I said, consistent all the time and, play the whole 40 minutes instead of just playing a couple sequences in a game. We really just got to be locked in the whole time. And that's what we really did. Like I said, not too high, not too low, just being consistent. And, we can trust each other as a team because we got great guards who can play defense on balls, and we got shot blocker, great shot blocker. So we know that we just gotta, do it the whole game, and that's what we did tonight.
There's another question for Sam Blum.
Last one. I'm just curious. I know last year we talked about this, I think, after the Dayton game a little bit, but now that you've kind of gone, a stretch here into conference play, I think some of the offensive metrics on those advanced sites have you as a top 5 player offensively in the conference. What steps have you taken? How would you kind of describe your game offensively and what's kind of changed?
I mean, I'm just feeling wherever the coach need me, where the team needs me. Some days I'll just be a spot shooter, and some days I can, like today, it wasn't falling from the piece, so I was really driving and getting to paint and getting to the free throw line. And like, I think I'm an all-around player who can do a lot of things. So whatever the coach asks me, I can do it. And that's what I did. Basically, he was asking me to, be aggressive, keep shooting, keep hitting some shots up, because that's what I do best. So it worked out tonight too.
And last question, Steve Lansdale.
Obviously, a busy week. You had the road game Tuesday, a very close game tonight, and now you have, 72 hours to turn around and go play a top 10 team on the road. Other than getting rest and recovering physically, what do you want to see tightened up or cleaned up between now and Sunday?
I think we on the good way. So it's just about keeping the same energy, keeping the same focus that we've been having. So it's really just simple things. It's not really complicated. It's really stay locked in really, and it's a long season for everybody. So everybody gonna get some stretch like that. So there's no excuses. We just gotta do what we do, and we gonna come out up top. That's what we have to do, and we're gonna be all right. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
All right, Emmanuel, thank you.
Thanks, Al.
First question to Damon Sales.
TJ, first of all, welcome back. Good to see you back on the court. Let me just ask you, man, you're in 3 games in now. What's it feel like just being back out there?
I'm still trying to get used to it. It feels a little different, especially coming off the bench, learning how to come in and not be too aggressive, but still trying to pick your spots and find your rhythm within the game. But it feels real good to be back. I feel like I'm fresh, and I feel like I'm mentally ready for this stretch. We're about to make the stretch run. We're about to make this push for.
Next question, Sam Blum.
Yeah, Tyson, I'll echo what Damon said. It's good to see you out there playing. Just generally, I mean, what made you feel like that you could come back, that you wanted to come back, that this was the right time?
Our coaches, my teammates, the fan support, my family. Just all around, my whole support system just made it very clear that they wanted to see me playing, and then I took my time. Everybody really wanted me to come back real early, and I took my time and looked at it, and I just decided after talking with everybody, and then I just got everything on my end, got everything right. And so then from that point, I was like, let's do it. And so I stepped back in, and they welcomed me back like I never left.
All right, Steve Lansdale.
Yeah, Tyson, trying to read your body language from up in the seats here. You looked a little surprised both on the foul on that three-pointer with a couple seconds left, and then also the rebound you got at the end that turned into a jump ball. Did you get a satisfying explanation of either one of those?
I didn't get an explanation about either one. It was kind of an intense game. I mean, 2 texts that got handed out, so I didn't want to. I kind of come aggressive, not trying to, so I tried to just stay away. But I know I kind of stared him down for a little bit, like, come on, ref. Like, I didn't think I got him on the 3-pointer. Then on the defensive rebound, I thought it was clearly a foul. So I just I had to stay poised, especially down that stretch, because if I blow up, me being a leader on the team, then we can lose focus. So I had to keep my poise, and even if he hit all 3, we had 3.5 seconds to come down and make a play. So I just tried to keep my poise, and he came up to us after the game, and he was like, "That's a great win, fellas." I was gonna ask him then, but Coach had grabbed me up, so I was like, I didn't get to ask him.
Next question, Dick Humphrey.
Tyson, how close are you to being 100% back in form?
I feel like I'm 100%, but when I look at myself, I can kind of tell that I'm still trying to figure it out, and still just trying to get my wind underneath me, get my legs up underneath me. So I'm not sure. Hopefully by the end of next week, we finish out this week and take care of business next week. And I feel like by then I'll be all the way back to where I'm supposed to be.
Next question, Sam Blum.
Yeah, I don't want to ask you anything if you're uncomfortable talking about it, but just generally, I mean, I know it's been a long, tough year for a lot of people, for everyone. What were, and if you're willing to talk about it, what were you kind of going through?
Just overwhelmed. A lot was going on in my life. Just trying to mourn with deaths in my family, deaths of friends, and then just trying to make sure I had all my schoolwork and everything in order. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really kind of getting down about it was a lot going on, and a lot of things that I was just holding in, and I never just had the time to just let out. And so I just took that time. And this being a year where it was kind of unclear as to whether we had to play because you could get the year back. So I took the time to just kind of just mourn with my family, spend some time with my family. Never really got to spend no time with my family and focus on my schoolwork, just getting ready to graduate May 15th. So I just took some time to myself.
Next question, Damon Sales.
Yeah, TJ. I believe it was Coop who mentioned your aggressive nature and being a dog, and we spoke about aggressive play today. Obviously, that's something that you bring to the table with this team. But what else do you feel you can bring to this team and as you guys prepare for this final stretch?
Defense, scoring, rebounding, anything Coach asks on any given night, really. But I know it's going to be a lot of nights where I'm going to have to step up offensively, step up defensively, step up on the boards. I'm going to have to bring some toughness. I might have to get a little dirty, stick my nose into a lot of areas just to help get our team over humps. But I feel like anything that we gonna need that night, anything that I feel where I can step in and help, I feel like I'm gonna step in and help. Whether it's scoring, rebounding, defending, assisting, helping take care of the ball, even, you know what I'm saying, clapping on the bench if I'm in foul trouble, making sure everybody stays engaged and locked in.
Next question, Steve Lansdale.
Yeah, along those lines, Coach Jankovic has said all year that in addition to whatever you put on a stat sheet, one of the things that was missing was your leadership and your maturity. And when you see your teammate, Kendrick Davis, who's obviously one of the best scorers in the league, he's had a couple of rough nights shooting. Do you have to sort of help him through nights like you had the other night in Memphis and then tonight?
Yeah, yes, sir, for sure. He's going through it, him being the player that he is, he's starting to get different defenses guarding him. He's starting to get traps thrown at him. He's starting to get all different type of looks on different nights. So he has to figure it out, and we as a team have to help him figure it out and let him know that you ain't got to force it. It's gonna come to you, even if it might not be this game, it could be next game, but you got to stay aggressive even if your shot's not falling. And I feel like Kendrick has made a big leap from last year until this year, because last year he might have blew up and, hey, man, you know what I'm saying, kind of got out of control. But I feel like this year now he's understanding, like, now it's more to the game than me just scoring. He's getting assists. He's trying to rebound. He's guarding. So he's doing other things to make up for him not scoring. So I feel like he's showed a lot of maturity. But he asked me a while ago, Tyson, should I get up some shots right now? I'm like, man, you ain't got to kill yourself, KD. I'm like, we'll come here tomorrow and let's get up some, if you want to shoot right now, get some form shots in, but we'll come in tomorrow, get some shots up, and do something real light, because I don't, you might be stressing it, but I went through it last year where I had like 4 games where I had 0 points at halftime and I was the leading scorer. So I'm like, man, you going to bounce back, you going to bounce through it. And I feel like he's just trying to figure it out. I don't think he's had one of these stretches in a while And I feel like he's going to bounce out of it real quick, real soon.
All right, next question, Sam Blum.
I'm just curious about, your minutes. I think they've gone up, in each of the games you've played. You said that maybe you're feeling a little winded or something like that. Or do you feel like you're good, at the end of these games, like you've kind of got it? And also just to kind of piggyback off that, how long were you practicing for before you got in the game against Central Florida?
2 weeks, I believe. And Central Florida, I was kind of nervous. It was a whole different. It was a change for me. Like I said, coming off the bench. So when I got in, catching that first win, I was like, "Ooh, I ain't been out here in a while." But then after I played that game and then going to Memphis, I felt like I got my win underneath me. So now it's just kind of just more repetitions, more game reps, more practice reps. And us not having our coaches right now is kind of different too. So I'm just trying to do my part. I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. Could be in better shape, but that's what practice and everything is for. And all the extra work that I put in is gonna keep me and get me back to where I need to be.
All right, and last question, Steve Lansdale.
I'll ask you the same thing I asked Emmanuel. Road game Tuesday, tough game tonight. Other than rest and recovery, what do you need to do between now and Sunday to get a good result in Houston?
Between now and Sunday, right now we need to go home, I think, as a team and just relax. We got school tomorrow. I think we're gonna have a light practice, but I feel like we need to not overly enjoy this win, because you never get too high, never get too low. But I feel like we need to enjoy this win because this was a tough win, especially coming off a back-to-back the way we just did. But enjoy this, and by tomorrow morning, get over it. Go back to the lab and start focusing on Houston, because they're on in the conference right now. We understand how big of a game that is, especially them coming here and beating us on our home court and us not beating them on their home court last year. So I feel like we got a lot of work, we got some business to take care of.
All right, thanks, everybody. Thanks, Tyson. Congrats, man.
Thanks, Herm.